Every pregnancy needs utmost care and attention. But certain pregnancies need a little extra attention. An Rh negative mother carrying an Rh positive baby is at increased risk of complications. BSV is at the forefront to ensure safe delivery in every Rh negative pregnancy.
Hello and welcome to the Outside View presented by Women's Crick Zone and brought to you by BSV, Puma, Food and Wellness, MRI Hospitals and MPL Sports Foundation. An intriguing contests and intriguing tournament we witnessed this World Cup. A lot of matches that went down the wire, and if we have to talk about a match that actually gave us nerves, we can't think of one. But West Indies gave us the very first one against New Zealand, the hosts there, with the under coming in and bowling that final over. So a lot of close matches. And of course, we always keep talking about the journeys. We always say that the journey is more important than destination. So how was West Indies' journey in this World Cup? To discuss that, I have alongside me Britney and Dane. Welcome both of you. So of course, I'll come to Britney first. They were termed as the surprise package, the dark horses ahead of this ODI World Cup, and the kind of performances they put in the initial stage of the tournament, that actually told us that they are a formidable unit. But a little bit of hiccups after that, and that probably didn't allow them to go beyond the semi-finals.
I think in any competition, any series, West Indies are always seen as the dark horses because we are very unpredictable. A lot was expected of the team coming into this World Cup. Having I would say a decent series against South Africa in terms of some of the batters Kate would have come into this World Cup with some form. Started off the World Cup as very exciting, but after that, the first 2-3 games, their performances just start to drop.
And their entry into the top 4 was dramatic, Dane. We saw that celebration, the video that went viral. We saw their celebration, how happy they were when South Africa defeated India. It told all of us how much it means to them to make it to the top 4 of the kind of journey they've had. But probably it was all about capitalizing on the momentum they received.
Yeah, that was obviously a really cool video that went around, and obviously heartbreak for India and excitement for West Indies. This is what this tournament's all about, I guess. But I think West Indies should probably be a bit disappointed with their performance in the semi. Getting that opportunity is not every day that it comes down to those margins and getting over the line and getting into that top 4. So I don't know if it was if they were stuck in that moment of just that excitement of we got into the semis, but was it the conversations? And I'm not saying there wasn't, but maybe was that and then the semi-final was just, I guess, a tick box type of thing. That's just, I don't mean it in a weird way. I mean it more like I expected so much more, especially what they showed at the start of the tournament. So I was pretty disappointed because, as I say, we've played a lot of cricket together, against each other. And there's this relationship. We kind of root for West Indies and vice versa sometimes. So, I was just a bit disappointed for them and, with them.
Definitely. All of us expected a little bit more from West Indies. And that brings me to the semi-final game against Australia as well. Of course, we knew that Australia is the number 1 ranked ODI side. They entered the tournament as favourite, winning 31 matches from the 33 they played since the 2017 ODI World Cup. But was it a little bit of lack of intent there, Britney, from them in the semi-final game? How would you put their performance there? Because you know that if you're facing a balanced side like that of Australia, you have to be at your top game in all the 3 departments.
Just to go back on what Dane said in terms of the celebration, looking back at the celebration, a lot of people thought that this is a chance for West Indies to step up, and as Dane said, it seemed like okay, we reached semi-final and we reach our goal. That's it, because you didn't see much difference in the performances for the last three games in this semi-final. It just seems like we we came into that game with the same approach that we played against the last three games. It had no intent. I didn't see any passion. I saw all that passion in the video, and I was like, yes, these girls get a chance to go there and probably make a statement to show that the last three games define their talent and their ability. And I was really hoping that when they step out on that field against Australia, I would have seen a whole new West Indies team, one with passion, one with belief, one with that we got a chance here to go beyond, to get a chance to make a statement, and no better team to make a statement against it, the number one team in the world. But yeah, I was really disappointed because, as I say, I really expected a lot from the team, but I guess it just shows that the games that they played before the semi-finals, things just don't seem to add up.
Definitely, and that was what we expected. We were expecting it to be an intriguing contest as Australia and West Indies were facing each other in the semi-final one. But looking back at West Indies' journey, let's have a look at how was their outing in this tournament, a little bit of positives there and concerns as well. So coming to you, Danny, first. Of course, when we talk about the positives that West Indies can take from their campaign, we just can't think beyond Hayley Matthews in the first place. We saw her make valuable contributions with the bat, with the ball as well. She came to open the bowling as well in a few games there, gave the team early breakthroughs, even when they didn't have enough on board to go there and defend. And of course, a brilliant fielder as well there. And she has a lot in store yet for West Indies.
Yeah, look, we've certainly had our battles in the past. We've really given each other a go on the field, but I think it's just the contest, and I know how good she is, and you kind of have to find a way to get her out the game. And if that's going at her, then yeah, but she's quality. She was my pick as well. She showed her class. She's still quite young as well, and great all rounder, great fielder, great athlete. Seeing her going up the order again, getting that opportunity, taking it, scoring a century. It just shows you the class of the player, and no doubt she'll be the next Stefanie Taylor, in my opinion.
Definitely, that's what we've been expecting from her as well. You've played with her also, Britney. You've known her up front. What are the basket of skills that she brings to the table, apart from actually what we see of her on the field?
As I said before, Hayley Matthews is one of the best all-rounders in the world, and her performances not only in this World Cup, in the series, like two series against South Africa and Pakistan. You see that she's growing as a leader, and as Dane said, she's in a Stefanie Taylor. She's going to be the one to lead. I believe West Indies out of this current situation we are in. She's grown tremendously. I know the experience she's been having playing in those franchise cricket is helping her develop her game a lot. If she came into this World Cup, I was still batting out of position because in the series against South Africa prior to the World Cup, and in the practice matches she was batting in the middle order, and she stepped up when it was needed, when Williams was injured, and she showed that she's becoming that very important team player, and as I said, leader, and willing to step up and deliver and sacrifice stuff to help the team.
Of course, and taking her name in the same breath as that of Stefanie Taylor is a big compliment for her, and she deserves every bit of it, of course. But also a little bit of change in the playing 11 we saw in that of West Indies as well. Afi Fletcher got in. We were always talking about her inclusion, why she wasn't included in the initial games. We wanted that variation in the spin that she brings there in the World Cup. And finally, when she came in, she showed her class. She made an impact on the game, Dane. A little bit of phone call celebrations there. It was unfortunate to not have her in the semi-final game, But of course, her spell that she bowled in the two, 3 games that she played made a huge impact for the West Indies.
Yeah, look, I was actually very shocked that she was not a first pick for West Indies, especially with the wickets being worn. She gives it a good grip. I said it in the West Indies South Africa series on comms. I said, so happy to see her back. I've played against her in the past and found her quite difficult to play. She's not a slow leg spinner. She actually turns it with a bit of pace as well. So, and that's hard, and that's a hard skill as well. So yeah, I was very surprised that she wasn't a first pick. She would have been in my team a first pick. If I had any say in that team, just because of how she can, I guess, use the wicket and she grips the ball. She's got the googly as well. So getting a couple of wickets with that googly, people not expecting it, and she's turning the googly as well. So very. Yeah, they definitely missed her in the semis, but I hope in the near future that she will be one of the number 1 picks in the side. Going forward.
Definitely, and someone else who's been coming from behind, coming in for the team silently was felt Karishma Ramarak as well. Of course, she was economical in the tournament, barring the game against Australia. All the bowlers were. All the bowlers conceded a lot of runs against Australia, but Karishma Ramarak was impressive with her bowling as well. And you also mentioned about her, Britney, in the pre-mid and post shows. How impressive was her, and what positives can West Indies take from the performances she brought up for the side?
The fact that you have such a impressive, genuine off-break bowler that's coming into the team. We look at Anisa, that she's at the point where she most likely might retire in a couple of years. So the opportunity for Ramarak to come out there and showcase her talent, and the fact she's surrounded by such great off-break bowlers that she's getting a lot of nuggets and lessons from. She's stepping up, and as you rightfully said, she was amongst all the bowlers who was getting some stick against Australia. But even though she's not as experienced as all the other bowlers, she showed a lot of maturity going in that innings, and that's a good plus for West Indies in the future, to know that their spin bowling department is going to be in good hand.
Of course, spin bowling department is in good hand, and that has been their strength for a long time. But if you look back at their campaign, Dane, one thing that would strike our minds is, was there an over dependency there on the top order batters? Because we saw the openers, of course, Deandra Doughton and Hayley Matthews, giving the team good starts in the initial games, but when they were not able to make, the middle order didn't really strike for the team, and it was a consistent pattern in most of the games for them.
Yeah, I think so. I have to agree with that. I think there is a massive reliance on Deandra and Hayley, and then Stefani there as well. And look, they're quality players, but the nature of the beast of the game is you're not going to come off every single game. So you look at the teams in the tournament. Sometimes their middle order has bailed them out of games. Where unfortunately with West Indies, what I felt was if you run through that top order, it's almost like they were found wanting. Yes, there were some cameos. I mean, I think Henry, if she really takes her batting seriously, I think she can become a proper number 5, number 6 batter in that lineup. So, I think there's an over-reliance on them, and it's unfortunate because it just put unnecessary pressure on those players as well. As a cricketer, pressure makes you do funny things, and unfortunately in a World Cup like that, you're gonna need your middle order. So yes, like Hayley was great when she opened, but when I saw that, I was like, they've been found wanting now at number 4, 5. So for me, that was a bit of a, I don't think they quite got it right, even though I'm not taking away from the performances, but I think the management and I mean, they've got legends of the game and understand the game very well. Just need to look at how they can maybe shift the batting lineup so they can still extend it a little bit more and not have that over-reliance.
Pressure makes you do funny things, and that's what brings me to the next point. Britney, I remember in one of the previews of the West Indies game, you said that Rashada Williams might get into the side and you wanted her to open the game. It didn't happen in that game, but it happened in the semi-final game. So do you think that was a kind of a pressure for Rashada Williams to just put her in that position in the semi-final game? She couldn't do well. Of course, Beth Mooney completed a very good catch there. But you on record have said that Hayley Matthews can play down the order, maybe one down or two down. You needed Rashada Williams and Deandra Doughton to come there and open the innings?
Yeah, as we just say, are you talking about pressure in the Caribbean? We just say, pressure does bust pipe. And it showed the West Indies that, the reliance on the three batters in our team showed that pressure was applied real hard. But yeah, in terms of Williams, I think after the third game, even though it wasn't the best. I think after the third game, Williams should have come into the team and give her the chance to spend some time in the middle. Coming into open against a team like Australia in such a important game as a semi-final. Yes, we talk about having confidence in players and stuff like that, but she's very young into this. I was said opening because we saw against just South Africa and Pakistan, she had the opportunity to open. But as I said, yeah, it should have happened a lot earlier. And as Danny mentioned earlier, with Hayley going on top now, it exposed the weakness of the middle order. Because you see against the series against South Africa before the World Cup, when Hayley was batting in the middle, it allowed the team to have a little balance. But taking Hayley out there and putting her on top now, it worked for a couple games. But as I said, after the third game, probably they should have tried to put Williams back on top there and try to stretch the batting a little more. It's going to be very difficult, coming into, I believe it's 3 games she played, but only one she ended up opening in, and that was the semi-final. It's going to be very difficult because she haven't got that exposure or time in the middle to analyze how the wicket was playing. I know obviously she's sitting on the bench and players going back and give her feedback, but I just think that move should have happened a lot earlier in the tournament, probably after the third, fourth game.
A lot of ifs and buts when we look back at the journeys of the team in this World Cup so far. But what should be the way ahead for the West Indies? Let's know more about it now. Of course, now if you have to see about the way ahead for the West Indies, Dane, a lot of players from the West Indies setup, they have spoken this, that the impact of Courtney Walsh, their coach on the side, has been immense. They've seen that they've said that they've worked on different aspects of their games, and that would definitely go there and help the side in the coming future. They would have a lot of positives to take from this tournament. As I know that you've always said that World Cup is a one-off tournament. It's a beast, all different beast altogether. So how would the team carry themselves further with all the learnings, with a coach there, an experienced one, and stuck in a captain like that of Stefani Taylor in the side?
It's hard for me to say because I'm obviously not in that environment, and obviously I don't know the conversations, and the realities. I don't know, but like in this whole World Cup, we know there's a lot of players that's not going to be there, in the next couple of months or a couple of years, hanging up their boots. So I think first of all, it's just going back and see how long who still wants to give, to their country, and from there build a team. Because yes, Courtney Walsh is a legend, and had some conversations with him in the previous series, and he's got such a wonderful cricket brain, and you can see that value that he has already add to this team. So I think everything is a journey, and he started his journey with that side, and already achieved so much with the team, just the confidence, their general cricket awareness and skills. So it's all about a journey. I mean, Hilton Moreng, the South African coach, has been there for 10 years, and you can see the consistency, shining through, because it's a process. So I think just with time, I think they should commit to that process and stick to that, and also stick to a team and try and build something really good for the next 4 years.
And as we talk about the process, as you rightly mentioned, we always keep talking about the bench strength, the domestic circuit, and how these systems have to be in place for things to go forward on a positive note for any team in a tournament like that of World Cup or in the bilateral series as well. So we're going to witness the women's CPL this year, of course, Britney. So how big difference is it going to make in terms of it's just about the execution going on there and getting opportunities to put your skills to display.
Yeah, the CPL is going to be a big plus for women's cricket in the Caribbean. I've spoken about our regional tournament that we have. We play at least probably four, 5 50 overs and probably about 4 or 5 T20s, and sometimes each year is not. They don't even be both competitions. Sometimes it's just the 50 over. Sometimes it's just the T20. It's all about what tournament fall in the calendar of the year. So uh, preparing to choose a team to go and play international cricket, that's no way, that's not enough games for teams to play for you to, or say, pick a genuine 25, 30 to put into a camp. The CPL is going to give a lot more exposure for the youngsters coming up. And I just feel like going forward, we always talk about youngsters coming into the team and they're not as experienced and stuff, but I am a firm believer that is, so if you don't give players opportunities, they will never get experience. You have to probably throw a player in the fire and say, hey, get a little burn to get a little experience. We can't wait until so let me say this pool of, let's say, 5, 6 players decide, okay, in the next couple of months I'm going to choose to retire. So where you're going to get this next 5 players are going to have this experience if you don't give the young players the experience. And one of the things I think we missed coming into this World Cup against the series against South Africa, that should have been the series where you look to give players experience. Yeah, you're going to a World Cup, you want to find your best 11, 12, but I just find that no, West Indies did not try their bench or give their bench an opportunity. Most of the time, we play the same 11, same 12. And in this World Cup, where you see where we start to lose the game, it had nobody coming off the bench who was prepared to step up in that playing 11. And as I say, going forward, give players opportunities, because without opportunities, there's no experience. And with this CPL coming up, it's a great chance for younger players to step up to showcase their talent.
Your take on that, Dane, because of course you've been a part of WBBL as well, and you know that how these leagues affect the players. It gives them exposure, puts them in a pressure situation, and then they know how to deal with it when they are at the international stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's invaluable. It'd be good to see some international players go out there as well, because that is where the knowledge you share, you get the confidence and all that. But it's great. It's such a great step in the right direction. I'm so glad for everybody in the Caribbean, all the female cricketers, to have this opportunity, and as I said, hopefully some international players can go out there and share their knowledge and with, especially with the young ones, as Britney mentioned, need to give these players the opportunity, and what better way to learn is to learn from some of the West Indian players and some of the international cricket players as well. I know personally firsthand from the first Big Bash, what I've learned till now has been incredible, and I've grown as a cricketer because of that as well. So it's all about experience, and certainly this is the step in the right direction. So well done to West Indies cricket for obviously starting that, and hopefully it can grow from strength to strength.
Ahead of the World Cup now, with the CPL also coming in and the upcoming series as well, onwards and upwards is what West Indies would aim. The Caribbean flavor that they bring to the table, we enjoyed watching them, the close games that they showed us, and we expect to see more of them in the coming days, of course. This was all from the West Indies review. We'll, of course, join you for the reviews of other teams as well. Until then, you stay tuned to Women's Cricket Zone for all the updates on women's cricket.